Welcome back. The offense for the U.S. U19 women's team this past summer was a who's who of the up-and-coming college stars, kind of like we found out this spring. Players like Casey Choma, Sophia DeCenzo, Izzy Skane, Belle Smith, all breaking out of the on the college scene after standing out for the U.S. this summer on their way to a gold medal in Canada. One of the assistants working with this group, former Northwestern standout Angela McMahon, the current head coach at UMass. McMahon, actually part of Wildcats coach Kelly Amante Hiller's first Northwestern team when she first took over that program. And she got a chance to join forces again with her this summer as part of Amante Hiller's coaching staff for Team USA. So we have Coach Angela McMahon joining us now, the assistant coach on that U.S. U19 Women's World Championship team, also the head coach at UMass. First off, Coach, how you been holding up with the shortened season, obviously so hard to take, and now with probably a lot of extra free time on your hands?
Yeah, it was pretty devastating, just the how quick everything went, and going from so many unknowns to some opportunities that have transpired for seniors to be able to return next year, and working through all of that. So it's been a roller coaster of emotions, I think, for everyone. Across the world, and our student athletes, we're just trying to support them the best that we can. They're in finals right now, so just really helping them transition to their new lives at home and the virtual learning, and hopefully finishing the semester off strong with finals and getting to be able to relax and kind of take a breath, because even though we went home, they still had to focus on school and all their responsibilities as a student athlete. So, I think everybody can use a little break and just take a breath once the finals are done. And, for myself, my husband's a college coach as well. He is the men's soccer coach at Amherst College. So our lives to begin with were sort of hectic. We have a 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So we're kind of in the thick of things with the homeschooling and, our own responsibilities, and then trying to just divide and conquer up the day and taking shifts and just doing the best we can, as I think everybody is, and trying to stay optimistic and stay positive, especially for those student athletes that we're mentoring.
Obviously, you'd much rather be making a run after an NCAA tournament berth and a conference title this time of year. But what's been the best thing you guys have done while away from the sports world?
I think it's just taking a step back and putting everything into perspective as to just how appreciating the opportunity and just how great our everyday lives are, and just the appreciation for those people that are going out there and putting their health at risk, and the healthcare workers, and just so much gratitude. And I think we tried to find different ways to connect with the student athletes, and also engaging alumni, and just putting as many positive spins on the situation that we could. So we've had different alumni presenters to our team about different topics, and just having fun and creating different little social media challenges and whatnot, and just trying to be creative and having fun with it, and doing the best we can. And I think just spending time with my kids, I've been fortunate to be able to do that, because we don't get to do that too much when we're in season. So just appreciating all the time that we have with our family right now.
You mentioned opportunities, and this summer you had a great opportunity of helping lead this U.S. Women's U19 team to a gold medal up in Canada. And for you, it was a unique opportunity to get a chance to coach alongside your former coach when you were a player at Northwestern, and Kelly Amante Hiller. What was that dynamic like, having a chance to team back up with Kelly, and this time sharing the sidelines?
I mean, it was just incredible. And again, we're just so grateful for that opportunity. Kelly has been a mentor of mine. That's why I went to Northwestern. Obviously, it's a tremendous school, but I just her leadership and her passion and dedication to the sport, and I know I thrived in that atmosphere and got better, and just to be able to continue that, even though there was a gap there, and we go into our professional lives. I want to grow as much as I can as a coach, and just being able to learn from her, and shifting from that player to now coworker aspect of things for me was just so amazing to be up close and listen. I just tried to be a sponge in every way, shape, or form, but also just try to be as give back to her, and be as indispensable as I possibly could, because she's given me so much. So, and then being there with other Wildcats, and just great minds of the game. And I think we all brought different, unique perspectives, but at the end of the day, we came together and rallied around the goal, and just playing as a team. And it was just such a great experience. I couldn't have asked it to go any better, honestly.
And you talk about some of the players on that team. It seemed like such a special group that not only performed internationally, but then came back to the college game and were off to great starts in their freshman or sophomore, in some cases, junior seasons. How have you seen that team kind of keep in touch? Have you been a part of any group messages of that team still trying to touch base throughout what has been a kind of wild spring season?
Yeah, once in a while you'll hear from players. I was fortunate to have one of our UMass players, Allie Murphy. She was a co-captain of the team, so I coach her. But hear from girls every once in a while, and the ring ceremony that we had back in January was just tremendous, and just getting out there and doing a live on-field demo with the girls and having them back together. And the crazy thing is just, they've all been in different, some were with their college teams in the fall with fall ball, others were playing soccer in high school, and they picked up a stick in that on-field demo, and it was like it was the gold medal day. They just, the chemistry and the positivity and the unselfish play. It was just so great to reunite and have that ring ceremony, and just express gratitude to those players for all of their sacrifice and dedication to bringing home the World Championship to the U.S.
So let's take you back to those World Championships. We're going to look at the U.S. and Canada game from the pool play round back on August 5th. You've picked out a couple of plays that you really like offensively, showing kind of how unselfish and how much of a team this really became. Let's start with the third goal. We're going to roll it here. Walk us through what you're seeing.
So Canada was playing a zone, and we were really trying to implement that two-man game there. So you saw a great pick and slip by Sophia DeCenzo. She just did a great job of really occupying that defender for a quick second, saw that she had a seam. And one thing that you'll notice too is Caitlin Wurzberger down there in the crease. Could be really easy for her to cut into that space, but by her holding that space, she allowed for that 2v1 to develop there. And Sophia, what made this goal happen was that she switched to her left hand. A lot of kids in high school aren't going to make that switch to their non-dominant hand for that shot, but she was so confident there on that left side and just took a great shot and really put it away. And just great spacing overall on offense.
Let's move on to what ended up being your fifth goal here. Some more great ball movement.
Mm-hmm. This was off of a draw control. Maddie Jenner and Greta Stahl were just so dominant on the draws, and that opened up some really great opportunities. Here you see fast ball movement, working the ball in the same direction, and then finding just a wide open player in the middle. But this was all off of the fast break transition off the draw, and really pushing the ball to get up to that right-handed side. Wurzberger drags that extra defender, and then just a nice, easy pass. Letting the ball do the work against the zone is so critical.
And that was really a theme throughout for you guys in terms of unselfish play and good spacing, as you see here in this next goal we're going to look at.
Yep. Here coming in, just simple, basic lacrosse, give and go. And these type of things, I think, sometimes go so underrated in our sport. And they're things that sometimes are lacking a little bit because of the focus on specialization. Belle Smith is a three-sport stud in high school, and That's just a simple give and go, and she probably does it in her basketball season. Might be a little bit different in volleyball, but I think those fundamentals of off-ball movement is just so critical and can really open up a game. You see Izzy Skane there just occupying a defender, which allows Bell to slip into that space, and then Choma makes a great feed. She has her head up to see her.
And you mentioned Izzy Skane here helping out for another goal, setting up Caitlin Worsberger.
Yep, a lot of patience here, really just dragging that pick down. And then Worsberger does a great job of being active off ball. She played low a lot, but there she saw a seam inside. So that drag right here on this two-man really creates that space into the middle. If Izzy had taken her right hand up and tried to drive to the right, we wouldn't have had the spacing to hit her there. So Worsberger, again, she's a righty. She shoots this lefty, something that I'm sure she works on over and over and over. Great finisher, both hands, and just so deadly when she's in front of the net.
And I think, Angela, in watching back some of these clips and you see the talent on the field, I just wonder, before we let you go, what kind of pleasure it was to coach a team that it was full of so many players from so many different schools, but so much talent all coming together for one goal.
It was tremendous, and I think the thing we're most proud of is obviously the unselfish play, but also the diversity of where all these kids were coming from. Players from California and Texas, and just being so nationally represented. That's exactly what you want in your U.S. program, and those kids now are mentors for young players in those developing areas. And I can't think of better role models than these girls were. They were just so kind and gracious and appreciative of the opportunity. And again, no selfish play at all, no attitudes. It was all about the team. And that was the hardest part going into the selection process. We had 500 players apply, and then bringing it down to 100 for the tryouts. I think a lot of people question, why did we take this person over this All-American and whatnot? But Kelly had a vision, and it was exactly how it played out. It's the unselfish play and ball movement, and ultimately we just wanted to win the gold, which is what we did. So just really proud of their efforts. It was just a great opportunity.
It was a really fun group to watch, and it was fun to relive some of those moments here today. Angela, thank you so much for being on call here for U.S. Lacrosse, and we'll and stay safe. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks. You too. Appreciate it.
And you can watch extended versions of all our U.S. Lacrosse Coaches on Call segments right now on demand. Some of the best minds in the sport, all available, LacSportsNetwork.com and the FTF Next